going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of No Guestlist, the podcast where we unravel the biggest tracks, bring you breaking news, spotlight some emerging artists, and delve into the latest releases, and just generally discuss some of the biggest Afro House news. We are dedicated to keeping you up to date with everything in and around the Afro House scene. I'm Anthony James. These are my co-hosts Wes, and today we're joined by one of the most versatile artists in the scene. He's played on some of the biggest stages around the world, and honestly, and especially in my opinion, is highly regarded as one of the defining sounds of our generation. It's Fka Mash. Welcome to the show. How you doing, dude?
Thank you, man. I'm good, feeling good. I'm excited to be here.
Happy to have you here, bro. Very happy to have you here. It's been we've probably spent a little bit of extra time trying to get some technical difficulties sorted out on the side, but
is Mash the first guest? Are you the first artist guest?
I think so. Am I not?
Yeah.
You are.
We had an agent, but the first artist on the guest list.
Yay!
Making waves, man. Making waves. How you guys all doing? Manu, should we start with you? Give us a little update. What's new, man? What's been going on?
What's happening with us? Club record. We're launching next week. First release. In partnership with the one and only Wesley. You know, we've got this new venture, new label that we're launching, and we're very excited about. Lots of releases, lots of great music. We're working with some of our favorite artists, so it's just great to see the feedback, the reaction, get all these great demos, and be able to be a part of great music. So right now it's just pushing that. That's very exciting, man. And of course, like, some gigs are coming up as well in July. End of the month in July, I'll be traveling a bit, but we're here.
It's exciting times, man. Probably one of the busiest men in the Afro House scene right now.
Yeah, it's actually so amazing to watch,
Bro.
because generally you would expect it to be a producer or whatever, right? But this is happening of pure, genuine love for the music, and what's crazy is that we saw that from the beginning.
Yeah.
We saw that from when you were still getting 50 views on a clip to what you're pushing now, which is beautiful.
I think it's cool that it's like one of the first, non-essay influencers, so to speak, to I
hate that word, influencer, as well.
But you are.
But I get it.
Yeah.
Bro,
I think it's
you
dope,
start doing
bro. I think it's
collaborations
dope.
with brands, you become an influencer.
Yeah.
Paid promo.
Yeah, I mean,
It is what it is, man. I'll take it.
I've
I'll
had
take the
my
bag.
fair share of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shout out to you, man. It's amazing to watch it happen like this for a change.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is love for the music as well. I think that you might not like the word influencer, but there are some influencers who become DJs who haven't really influenced anything. They've influenced people liking their picture just because it looks nice or whatever. And I think for you, Manu, you've actually been an influential voice in a certain arena. So it's definitely well deserved. Wesley, I'm sure yours is going to be extremely similar.
Yeah, I don't have any management yet to go on tour, so if anybody's listening, you know where to find me.
We're working on that.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, from my side, it's just been club record all the way, along with Afro House feed and everything else going on with that. It's a lot of work starting a label, man. There's so many moving parts, and learning how to work with distros and promo platforms and so on and so on. So it's just been head down from my side since the last
Club
time.
record, is it Club Record with a K?
With a K, yeah.
Oh, that's you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I was shaking. I'm sorry.
No,
guys.
it's cool. As long as it looks cool.
No, I was checking my promos yesterday, and I realized that firstly, that promo process is one of the most exhausting things you can ever put yourself through. because you're gonna go through 50 or 40 songs that you don't really like, and then you become so annoyed with the process that you start missing a song that you might like,
Yeah.
because now you're like, the
Mash,
kick
you
is
do the
whack.
thing where you click, you listen for like 30 seconds, and then it's the
Yeah,
next. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really
yeah.
give songs a chance because we don't have time. 50 minutes.
I'm
For,
listening for elements that I like now. Like if
Yeah.
your kick is whack, nah,
yeah.
next song. If the groove doesn't feel right, yeah, next song. But it could be a good song. That's the thing. You know? So yeah. So when I was going through my promos, I saw Club Records and I accepted the invite. You
Thank you
probably
for
sent it a
accepting.
while ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's Club
I'm
Record,
excited for the
by the
promos
way.
to start coming through.
No S. Club Record, singular.
Oh, Club Record.
That's
Oh,
dope.
okay. I thought it was Club Records
That's
as
dope.
well.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Mash, we'll come to you shortly because I think
Yeah.
the whole podcast is going to be updates on what you've been up to, really. But just quickly from my end, very, very excited for Indigenous coming up this weekend. At the time of recording, myself and Manu are going to be back on the rooftop at Aqua Nueva. Really excited for that.
That's your event, yes?
Yeah, so really, really looking forward to it. We've got some big things lined up with content, footage, videographers, photographers, all of that kind of stuff. Got some nice tracks that people have sent over. Looking forward to playing because, as Manu put so rightly, it's all about the IDs. It's all about the IDs, man. Guys, I don't know if any of you tried to check out what Shimza played recently at his set for, was it Circle?
Nah, don't bother.
The whole track
Yeah.
list is ID, ID.
Don't
Everything.
bother. Don't flipping bother.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
no
gosh.
point, man. But yeah, Mash, tell us, what have you been up to? There's no sort of time limit on this, I suppose. We sort of talked since
Yeah.
the last podcast, but what's been going on with you? Give us a breakdown of the past. Maybe we could call it the European summer because I know you've been over here quite a bit. Was some shows you were playing at?
So, well, the year started off in St. Lucia, which is the Caribbean.
No way. That's where
We did an event. Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Then we started with the Stay True Sounds event there. Went all right. It went all right. Considering that there's no house music market there. And then after that, I did Lebanon, which was quite dope. Like, it's like a contrast.
Where did you play in Lebanon?
Train station.
Trains.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, train station. Super, super nice event. I enjoyed myself. And then as the year started progressing, things started getting a bit crazy. Got a last minute booking for, well, it was actually last minute for kind of music in Bali.
Sick.
And then we did Ushuaia, Ibiza with Defected. Then we did Barcelona with kind of music.
Off Sonar.
Yeah.
Bro, that looked incredible, by the way, man.
Bro, that's easily a highlight for me.
What was the
highlight.
what was the after party like? Because I heard your I think it was the first episode of September Bloom Radio after party. That mix.
Oh, so that was
Sensational.
just me. That was just thank you. That was just me starting a new thing for all these places that I visit. So I did the Barcelona after party just as a mixtape. I don't do after parties, bro. I mean, trust me. Like, you can convince me however you want. I'm going to the hotel. I want to sleep. I want to rest.
Is it timing, energy? Because
that's how you live a long life.
I think once you've used up whatever you're supposed to use up for that party, that's enough. Go home.
Yeah.
You know.
They said that's enough. So
Yeah, it's enough. And also, man, I'm a firm believer that whatever drama you're looking for, past the time that you're supposed to be there, you will find.
Yeah.
You know. So I go home, bro.
Yeah.
I
Bro, I
go home.
completely agree. Completely. I was a
Yeah.
big part of the after party circuit for about a year and a half in London.
Yeah.
And it made me realize when I was leaving places at like 10 a.m., I was like, what am I doing? This is not, there's no point in this. It's a bit like Floyd Mayweather. He should have probably quit earlier and had this lasting
Yeah.
legacy.
Like,
Like,
bro, just
he was still undefeated
Stop.
though. He was still
you
undefeated.
can still party
end
again
on a
next
high,
week.
and then you can go to the next show. And I agree with you, man. Sometimes you can probably overdo it a little bit.
I mean, I guess there will be a time where an after party is warranted,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it still has to be valid. You know, like if Black Coffee says, "Yo, after party, whatever, let's go," I'm there. You know, but if there's no actual need to be at an after party, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's not my
I have a
vibe.
question. So you see
Yeah.
these videos all the time, like, oh, after party in Ibiza Villa with so and so DJ. Is it like they've actually made a separate booking, or the artist just out of the good of their like nature, they're just gonna go play at some guy's house?
I guess, well, in my case, there has been times where if there is an after party and the vibe is right,
Yeah.
then I still have my music on me, sure, you know. But man, it really depends. I think sometimes it's just like people saying, okay, this is the after party, let's go vibe, and they have a good time. But I think there are times where people do get paid quite
Yeah.
comfortably or quite nicely
Yeah.
to play the after party, you know.
I had a
But
friend,
also,
but
I
I
think
won't say
does
who,
it come down
because
to are you
I'm
an
not
early
sure if
bird?
he
Do
wants
you
me to
like
say
to
that
go
he
to
was
bed
paying after
early
parties,
and
but his
yeah,
manager
enjoy
was
like
getting him double the fee, like double the
Ooh.
fee of what his gig was, because somebody who was there who had a lot of money said, look, I want him to come play at an after party, and paid him
Yeah,
double his fee. So he made triple his money essentially that night. It
yeah.
can be a
I
good winner
mean,
if you've got the energy for it, but like I agree,
yeah,
man, there has to be a cut-off point at some point.
yeah. There just has to be a good reason to do it,
Yeah.
you know. It just
Yeah.
has to be a good reason to do it. I mean, sometimes, and I'm starting to see it now as the calendar is starting to get a bit more busy. You can't really afford to be out at 2 a.m. if you have a flight at like 7.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just some priorities that you have to be careful.
gotta look after
You know,
yourself,
you don't
right?
want- you have to, man, and you have to look after your business. You know,
Yeah,
you have to look after your business.
for sure. Bro, what about you played in Joburg recently you did a back-to-back with Julian Gomez?
Yeah.
That's a big back-to-back, man.
I did a back to back with Julian. I also did a back to back with Kind of Music at Offzona, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was
That's a
crazy.
back-to-back to back to back to back.
Yeah. In fact, like in an hour or in 30 minutes, you're only gonna play one song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because
Literally.
everybody has to get a chance. You know. But yeah, quick conversation with Rampa about that, and he was like, "Actually, it's time. Jump on now." I had to pull out my music and jump in, you know.
What
But
track did
the
you
more
go in with?
prepared, I went with Ascension, the new version of Ascension that I'm dropping.
Oh, is that the one that Black Coffee's always playing?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
You know we need that. You know we need that
I
pronto.
was about to say, man, promo
yeah,
box.
yeah. I think I was having a conversation with my mastering engineer this week, and I'm trying to get like the final version that I can start pushing out more to more people, because the last thing you need is for a version of a song to be out there and you're like, oh man, like I can't even improve this, I can't even fix that, I can't even change that, because people are so accustomed to it.
Yeah.
You know. So sometimes you just have to hold on to the music until you are ready to share it, even if it's just like 5 or 6 DJs. It's better to do that with like the
Plus
final
Manu.
version.
But how was it? How was it received though when you played it? When you played it at Barcelona or Sona, like,
Bro, actually, I felt like I was a kid in a candy store, man, because you see how so kind of music plays different, you know. They have their own like effects units on there. They have let me just do this. They have this shit on
Yeah.
the thing that sounds so amazing out there, right?
yeah, I heard it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and they have like 2 other units that they attach to the actual mixer. And so playing with that stuff feels better than you actually experience it when you see them do it, you know? So yeah, though I can't even put it into words. Like just that experience of having the drop, the build up to the drop, and seeing the crowd's hands like in the air. I was like, oh my god, yeah, this is what dreams are made of. You
For
know?
real, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
Bartella actually bought one of those. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the big silver box with like 3
Oh, that's the
rotary
band.
knobs on it.
The
That
yeah,
thing's
that's the
crazy, man.
bro.
Yeah,
Like
isolator.
it's and it, you know what I love about them is just like it's just so simple. You know, it's just so simple, but the quality of what they put in there, you can hear it. You
Yeah,
know, you can definitely hear it.
yeah, for
So
sure,
yeah,
man.
easily top 5 experiences I've ever had in my life. In my life, I'm only looking forward to the black coffee back to back now. I'm like
Yeah.
excited about that.
So there's
When is
2 of
when
those
is
coming up, right? You've got, from what I know, you've got Manchester
Yeah,
26th, and then you've got September
October.
the 7th
Yeah, so
in High.
Manchester's October,
Yeah,
and then high is September.
and you're going back to back on both.
Ooh, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. I know with High, normally he does the back to back towards the end of his set. So maybe I could confirm that one. I don't know. But with the Manchester show, I'm not gonna speak too much about it because I don't know how they wanna communicate how the show is gonna be laid out. But I guess we'll find out closer to the day how things are gonna go, or even on the day.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He's in
Are you guys gonna
London
come?
on. I would love to be in Manchester. I'm sure Manu loves Manu loves Ibiza, so I don't see any reason why you couldn't be there September the
How
7th,
far is
bro.
it from London?
Probably
That's
about
like
an
2
hour and a
hours.
half flight or something. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Okay, okay,
You
okay.
guys are so lucky, man. We're so
2 hours,
disconnected.
broski. We're there. 2 hours. We're
Where
there.
you
Quick
based?
flight.
I'm in Toronto,
Oh
so
my gosh.
yeah, there's a little bit of activity. I know, like yeah, Sam is working hard to get some names here this summer, but yeah, to the rest of the music scene in the world, it's far.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely understand how that must suck.
Oh, big time.
Listen, I
Oh
feel
my
guilty.
god.
Wesley's constantly like, I want to come over. I've still
Yeah.
not been to Ibiza. I have this vision in my mind. I want to go
Wait, you've
only.
never?
I've never been.
It's crazy, man.
I know it's outrageous. It's outrageous. But I have this vision in my mind. If I go before I'm DJing out there, I'll get far too caught up in the party lifestyle of it because I like to party. These guys know from Saint Tropez.
Okay.
But I want to go with it being a professional trip and purely, like you said, there's no reason for an after party, then I'm not going. If I just go, I'm going to be at the after party, man. And I'm going to
But
be at
it's
the after
never,
party.
yeah, it's never purely professional. It's never strictly pro. Like you gotta do some pleasure, bro. You know,
You know what my
It's,
thing
a
is?
little
it's
bit.
on the list. It's on the list of things to do for sure, man. I think, look, we're
Yeah.
very privileged living in London as well because we get so many incredible artists who come here and the nightlife scene here is incredible. So even if obviously it's nothing on Ibiza from what I've been told, but having, like, I may be wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure Black Coffee's playing in London the day before Manchester so on the 25th of October he's going to be here.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think
just
so.
got
Yeah.
tickets for that. So even having that option throughout winter, like London's one of the best spots in the world for gigs for artists coming through as well. So bro, also you mentioned Defected Ushuaia. You've got quite a
Yeah.
few coming up with them, and then you've got
Yeah.
there's another one in Malta.
Yeah. There's Malta. Then there's also Croatia, which
Those are the big
is
ones. Those are the big
Croatia's
ones.
beautiful, man.
yeah.
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 Those
Ushuaia is the new one,
Yeah.
right? And it's actually amazing how just beautiful it looks every week. You know,
Yeah.
because they're doing that every Tuesday for like 20 weeks or something like that. It's quite a long time.
Defected
For
is
them
is
to
it
be
every
that
Tuesday?
consistent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I was there last
For-
year for Calvin Harris, and yeah, don't judge me, Calvin Harris, but it was a show,
no.
like vibes. It's a good
And I'll tell
time.
you, I'll tell you a
Absolutely.
story. It hasn't happened yet, but the way things are going, I can see how it would happen at some point. You know, I remember saying in an interview that I want to have coffee with Calvin Harris, right? And in order to get to that point, you need to consider everything around that's happening at that point. So you're not just gonna have coffee with Calvin Harris for nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So those are some of the milestones that I always like set out for myself. Like, I think one day I would like to find myself in a position like that one where Calvin can say, "Yo, are you in whatever?" Yeah,
It's good. So listen, that guy has got hit after hit after hit. Like you don't realize how many tunes you'd be jumping and
Bro,
just
I've been listening to
shaking
him
your behind to. Like it's crazy,
Shaking your behind to, yeah.
2008 or 9.
Hey.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
It's different.
Manu's out
Calvin
there
is
twerking
Calvin
for
is a
Calvin
legend,
Harris.
bro. Calvin is a legend, bro.
No,
I would
would you
go-
say that's someone who inspires you, bro? Music wise, Calvin
Calvin,
Harris.
yeah, dude. Like, what's that song? It was acceptable in the 80s. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh yeah, that's a tune.
Yeah.
You
know
guys
what
are
though?
playing.
Honestly, I see that because I think that Calvin was a visionary of his time, and he was putting sounds out there that nobody had heard anything like that before. And acceptable in the 80s is an example of that. I think you're
He's on
very
Even
both
similar.
before
of
he
them. Oh,
dropped,
Yeah.
Not Alone,
Mm-mm.
he was on some other vibe, bro. And I was like, this guy is crazy.
And
But
it's been
also-
so
yeah, man, and
sorry?
the glow up
Yeah.
as well. Oh, go on,
Yeah,
go on, go on.
he's a legend. He's a legend, bro. He's one of the goats for sure.
big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
So yeah, I mean, so a lot has been happening. It's just I've even stopped like keeping track. You know, just go with the flow. and see.
So how do you manage it? Like, do you find it difficult that you're to and from SA? Because you know each time it's a trek, right?
SA is quite far, man. Like SA
Yeah.
is minimum 6 to 8 hours away from
Everywhere.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Kenya is like 4 hours, which is cool. But to get to Doha, Dubai, whatever, that's 8-10 hours. To get to Paris, that's like 10 whatever hours. Oh my gosh. So it is a bit of a hard task, but again, it goes back to what I was saying about how you need to have, sorry, everything in moderation. So with me, it's like I have to have some quiet time in between everything.
Yeah.
So before I leave, I need some quiet time. When I get back, I need some quiet time. So I'm still adjusting to the process of traveling. I mean, the people who have been doing it for a while will get into the country, get busy, leave 2 days later, and go gig, go gig, go gig, after party, gig, after party, then come back to South Africa. I haven't been able to do that yet. For me,
It's a
it's
big task,
still
man.
like, yeah, man, I need to take care of my chakras.
Yeah.
Of course, bro. But like,
Yeah.
even on what Wes was saying, like it's something that I've found difficult. I know Manu's mentioned it as well. When you're reaching the stage where you're playing a lot of gigs and you have this sort of broad spectrum of different fields that you need to be excelling in, how do you
Yeah.
decide what you're going to prioritize in terms of gigs, the production?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're running your label as well, doing things like
Yeah.
promo, guest mixes, radio, and then obviously your own mixtapes, uploading that kind of stuff on
Ooh.
SoundCloud. Obviously, it comes from management,
Yeah.
but do you choose which you prioritize more?
Not really. Um, I think I'm one person that really like relies a lot on feeling. Like if I'm feeling something, I'll do it, you know. And if I'm not, I'll either postpone or just say no,
Yeah,
you know. Like I'm even I was saying this to someone that like I'm starting to prioritize and start meaning my yeses, because then that'll help me uh, be in control of when I can say no, you know. So I don't like having to promise something and not do it. You
yeah,
know, I
for
think
sure.
that's just not my personality. I don't like that. You know, I mean, I'm doing this podcast because like we've been trying to do like the your show, Anthony, and I'm like, man, like I've been promising this guy this thing for such a long time. Let me like deliver on something, you know?
No, appreciate it,
So I
man.
think, yeah, so just for me, it just matters to stick to your word, you know.
Yeah,
So in order to be able to do that, you also have to be able to say no to some things, you know.
yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like you can't always be a people pleaser all the time because then you
Yeah,
run yourself into the ground essentially,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
in
You
this
can't,
industry
man.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
you
think the
can't.
thing when you're like, at the stage that you are, there's probably way more no's than there is yeses, right? So it's like really learning to
Funny enough,
find
both ways.
both
Both
ways.
ways.
Okay.
Like there's no's that come at me where you're like, talk like I just need this opportunity, and they'll be like, nah, you're not big enough, or nah, you're not hot right now, or whatever, you know. So
That
I
sounds
mean,
wild to me that someone would tell you you're not big enough, bro. Because in my eyes, this is the pinnacle and you're up there.
you'll be
Like,
amazed, man. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at how many times I learned that I still need to work.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like every time like something will happen and I'm like, oh shit, I need to work hard.
It's a humbling
Then I go
industry.
work
It's a
hard.
very humbling industry.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
know
mean
that for
that's
sure.
what I love about it though. You know?
Yeah,
That's what I love about it, because it's the one thing that reassures me that wherever I get, it's through merit, and it's not like handed to me, you
Yeah.
know. Like I fully believe that like everything that I get at this point, it's not just hype,
Yeah.
you know. It's
And
like it's merit.
hype doesn't
Shit
last
that
as
you work
well.
for.
When you
Yeah.
have your legacy of FKA Mash in 20 years' time, and people are saying, "What's he made? What did we know him for?" I think there's a difference between being an artist who's hot right now and what you are
Yeah.
in my eyes. There's other artists like Taksin's very similar as well, who
Yeah.
I see as like cutting edge, real underground artists who make incredible music every time, and it's something new, it's something unique, rather than just playing into the hype. So yeah, no, I respect that, man.
Yeah.
It's
Tugden and
about
I will
catalog.
actually yeah, yeah. That's exactly what it is. You know,
It's
your
about
catalog
catalog. Like
needs to
it's about looking back and boom, and it keeps going.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing is long, bro.
Behold
Streams and it's
the
just
catalog.
yeah. This is me, bro.
You
This
know.
is what I've done. Look,
Yeah.
other people can't do that. Other
Behold the
people just be
catalog,
like,
bro.
yeah, that's it. But nah, I think it's
No,
catalog.
but I'm that's the one thing I'm just well, not the one thing, but I'm very serious about making sure that my career is one that I can look back on and be like, yo, man, like you've done some dope shit,
Yeah,
you know, like
I don't know. It's so crazy. Like it's a different perspective. It's like, you're working in it, you're in it every day, but then you take
yeah,
like a person like myself who's like, a consumer and observer of FK Mash, and it's like it's crazy that you think that way. Because for me, it's like, wow, man, like you've done so much and you're continuing to do so. So it's like
yeah.
just a completely different perspective.
I'm just getting started, bro.
Yeah. So
Like,
on that, I wanted to ask you on that topic is like,
yeah.
are you able to give us some insight into what would be the next milestone for you? Like, what are you working toward?
Mm, it's not clear yet.
Okay.
It's not clear yet because I see glimpses of, well, I see pieces of the puzzle every time I travel. You know,
Okay.
it's like just small bits of like this bigger picture that I'm working towards every time I travel. You know, but I think the at the core of it, I would like to get to a point where people come to an FKA Mash show to experience FKA Mash. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, at this current point, obviously, I'm still opening for the greats, your kind of music, your Black Coffees, and everyone. But I can still acknowledge that those are not my shows. You know, so the ultimate goal is being able to say, London, I'm coming, and London loses their minds.
so
I love
bro,
that.
what about when you get
Toronto,
booked
I'm
as a
coming.
headliner in London? If you get booked as a headliner at an event, do
Yeah.
you feel like that's your show, or do you feel like, no, I'm just the headliner for this person's event?
At this current stage, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both, and I don't like. To be quite honest, like I'm not one to lie to myself about where I am in the international market. You know, like I can see where this is a promoter that has a good following on their show, and it's good to play that show maybe because you get to present yourself to new people, you know. But there are situations. So in Joburg, I know, like, and that's how I know when it's not.
Yeah,
You know, like when I'm in Joburg, I know, bro. Like these are my people. You know,
Yeah.
like these are my people, and I feel it. You know, when so last week I played the show with Julian, and the show was supposed to end at 2 a.m. The venue was still packed.
Wow.
And Julian was saying, dude, like, I never see this many people at this time during the show. I mean, at the end of the show, rather.
Yeah.
So I know when it is my people, which makes it easy to tell when you haven't like hit that mark in a market.
So at what time did you play Sinella?
I played it maybe 1:30 or 20 past 1. I played quite late in my sets. I used to start my sets with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is
But-
that still the peak track at the climax moment when you play at home?
No. I have a three-peat that I like to do. You have to do a three-peat, man, especially in Joburg when you're playing to like your people. There's songs that they want to hear, So I know Summer Breeze, then Sinella, then maybe Ladon, or Sad to Think, or Lonely. It just depends what the vibe is at the time, And then but Sinella is definitely in there somehow.
Sinella's different, bro.
Secret weapons.
But Life as You Know It right now is gonna be.
Oh yeah, then there's that as well.
Should we do it quickly? The three of us each throw in our favorite Fka Mash track.
Right
That's
now.
tough. That's
Life
tough,
as
though.
You Know It. Okay, right now though. Right now, Wes.
Right
Right
now.
Right now, my favorite track is, it's a little bit different, but I love that glitch dub, the recent glitch dub. I'm not gonna say the name because I'm probably gonna butcher it, but that's my favorite track right now.
Try it for us. Try it.
Which is this
Shit.
the
Usangi Kumbula.
Sankumbula? Okay. Cool.
I love that track just because it's different. Like I actually love it. It's
That's
just a
dope.
different bop. It's a different bop,
Yeah, man. Sometimes I'll make a song and I'll be like, "Ish, is this gonna connect? But funny enough, when it does, it works, and I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people play here. I was at a really small party like a long time ago. There was this local DJ. I didn't know who he was, and I didn't think he knew anything about our scene. And he opened with that track, and I went up to him. I was like, "No way, you know this track." I was like, "I respect you for that." Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it was great. It was the happiest moment of the night for me.
AJ, what's yours?
Because I Love You. Incredible.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's one of the greatest pieces of music I've ever heard in my life. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It reminds me. I mean, from a production, the way that put it this way, people think that sitting down in a studio is putting some loops together. I know you were going wild with like rotary knobs and turning this and making this sound, and like that's not an easy track to make by any means. Remember a track called Akama, Frankie and Sandrino?
Yeah.
That gave me the first time I heard Because I Love You. I played it on when was that, like 2021? Around that time, a few years ago, I played it on my radio show, and I used to vet everything. And I was like, it's FKA, I know it's gonna be good. And I played it. And this track was dope, man. I was stood there on the radio station like, wow. And I just remember thinking, this is like, it reminded me of Akama. It had that vibe to it. I just feel like
I mean,
the numbers should have been bigger, in
Yeah.
my opinion, man.
So this is something that always happens. It's like a song takes a bit of time to pick up,
Yeah.
and when I play it at an event, it works. So I guess it's just a time thing, and man, I don't care much. I don't care much for the numbers. I just care that whoever falls in love with the song, like, really falls in love with the song. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
for real.
I had someone asking me to play it at the show with Julian. You know, so when I played it, that person came to me after the set and was like, "Oh, thank you for playing my song." I was like, "That's
Was
what
it
I
one
do
of
this for."
those like on the
Yeah,
On the screen.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's dude, playing in Joburg for me is like so special. It's
I'm
like
just
coming back
looking.
home to your family that loves you.
Yeah. And I guess they know all of your tracks as well. Like when you got fan base like that, and you can play anything of yours. Because I've always had this perspective as just a DJ who's producing but's not released anything. In my mind, like I don't know if you, we did a podcast a little while ago. The last one we did, we chose our like dream top 5 artists at our dream venue, and you
Uh
were
huh.
my second artist playing in. And in my head, I was like, yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna play this, you're gonna play Chosen, you're gonna play Bumblebee, you're gonna play Kokaya, you're
Yeah.
gonna play Because I Love You. But actually, how often as a DJ do you just end up playing your own stuff as opposed to other artists' records?
Um. Funny enough, at the beginning of my DJing career, I never played any of my music.
Really?
And then, yeah, this was around 2013. Yeah, I was just coming out of high school at that point. So I never played anything that I made. And then as time went on and I started like getting, especially after Stay True Sounds, I then started playing my music in my sets, But
Mm.
even then, it was like 2 or 3 songs. And then after that, you just play other people's music. But now it depends where I am, you
Yeah.
know. It depends where I am. Like if I'm playing Joburg, Cape Town, I might do like 80% of my own stuff.
Oh, that's a lot. That's
And
quite a
then
lot, then. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
actually
respect
like
that.
I push it like and see sometimes like I play like a song that I maybe finished 2 weeks ago and I'm trying to test it out and see if it works, you know.
Yeah.
And then after that you start to see if it really connected with people or not, you know. So I'm definitely big on playing my own music now.
Let me ask you a question. What does see if it connected with people mean? Like, do you look at people's faces? Are you attentive and like looking for reactions? Are you looking for something specific when it comes to that energy back from people? Is it more the noise? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm looking to hear if they hear, or I'm looking to see if we feeling the same thing at the same time, right? So if the song drops and it picks up, you can sense the energy in the room respond to that, you know.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then that song's not connecting.
And then what does that mean? You go back to the drawing board, or have you ever been like, nope, that one didn't work, and I'll start something new?
There has been maybe once or twice where like I'll drop a song and you can just see that, yeah, people are vibing because there's a groove in the room, you know.
Yeah.
But oh man, when it works, I mean, with Tinella, for example, the first time I played it didn't feel too different from 6 months after it dropped, you know. Like when the drop hit, it's almost like people knew what was coming. And yeah, like it was, even I was excited to play it. Like on the way to the gig, I was telling my friends, I was like, gents, I think I did something here. I think I did something. They're like, what? What's happening? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it for you. Then I played it in the car. After I played it, the guys were like, please tell me you're gonna drop that shit at today's gig. You know? I get to the gig, it was a Stay True Sounds event. Kid Funk is there, and I say to him, bro, I wanna play the remix of that song. I'm excited to play it. And he's like, oh, cool. Looking forward to hear it. Right? Bro, dropped it. It was like, it was nothing I'd ever experienced. You know? It's actually crazy to see that there's a point in my life where I hadn't made certain songs.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, can you imagine that there's a point in life where Adam Port hadn't dropped Move,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
there's a point after that, you know. So yeah, man, it was just beautiful for me. It's always amazing to experience that from people.
Yeah. What does that point feel like when you say there's a point before and a point after? What does that point feel like for you? Like,
That's the crazy thing, bro. It's like, because it's just this ongoing, like, we're all just like continuously experiencing life,
yeah,
you know, but somehow there's a pre Muye kind of music and post Muye kind of music.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
somehow there's a pre Osama Kasango and a post Osama Kasango, you know. So he might not be able to like pinpoint exactly where in fact nobody can, but just looking back you're able to
It's like
like
it's like before Christ, after
exactly
BCAD.
exactly exactly, bro, exactly, you know, exactly.
Oh man.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
I
I
love
mean
that. I
it's
love
just,
that.
yeah, it's amazing, man. Like, I think making music and having people respond like that to it is just the most rewarding thing ever.
Bro, I mean, look, this is something that we mentioned before the podcast started that we wanted to speak about. In the Crowd has been an incredible record, great response from everybody who's listening. Like, everything that I've seen about In the Crowd is just pure love for this track. And
Big
I
time.
mean, when I choose what I'm going to play in my sets, usually I think about sort of like big moment tracks. In the Crowd is quite a mellow energy when you listen to it at home, and then you play it out. But the euphoria of it is such an uplifting vibe for everybody who's listening to it. It's an example of one of those that is an easy listening track that can take a crowd to different places. How have you found the response to the record?
Quite shocking, I won't lie. I mean, there's I mean, even South Africa, like, I wouldn't have expected a song like that to work here at home, you know. So um I went almost 2 hours without playing it at the Julian event, and people came up with their phones again. They're like, "Yo, play this shit," you know. And when I played it, um, it's it's crazy. Like, the crowd is just like, yo, man, yeah. Like, there's no words to describe what seeing people respond like that to your music. Like, think about it. Like, you wake up in the morning with absolutely nothing, go to bed that day with this song, and give it to the people, and they're like, "Yeah, we love this."
Yeah. Was it
I
one
was
day in
I'm
the
one of
studio in the Crowd?
I'm
One
one of
That's
day.
those
quite
people.
good.
One day.
Well, normally it takes me like 30 minutes something to come up with like a tune. You know, like,
Really?
it's not
30
difficult
minutes?
anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not difficult anymore. Like, it used to be difficult when I was younger.
Yeah.
But now, because of the experience and all of that, it's quite
Crazy.
simple, straightforward. especially when I'm like super inspired to make
Yeah.
something, or I have this idea that I've fully mapped out in my head that, yo, this is what it's supposed to do when it gets here. After this is what you need.
I'm so happy you said this, man, because
Yeah.
bro, for real, I talk to a lot of my friends who produce as well,
Yeah.
and one of my friends in particular is always like, you need to be in the studio, you've got to be making something, just always be in the studio. And I'm like, I can't go into the studio until I have the idea in my head, this is how it's gonna go. From beginning to end, this is how it's gonna go. This is how I want it to feel. These are the chords, this is the drum pattern. And I can't do it. I can't just sit down and make something with no inspiration whatsoever. I can't just program a
So
record.
sometimes the one that you mentioned before, that being in studio and actually like grafting through it till you get an idea to work, is probably what you need on that day, right?
Yeah.
But I've come to learn that some of the best songs that, even the songs that I haven't released, like that are here, are songs that I heard in my head and like I figured out before I started creating it, you know, which is like, it makes the process so much easier because one, I have a sound now, so I know what to take and put there and what to use for that, and what, like, like those kind of things. Like when you know how to build your song, it becomes so much easier, to just come
Yeah.
up with these things and just put them together and just make one song. You know?
There's only
So
one time I've heard similarities
Yeah.
in your music,
Yeah.
and it was a little drum loop, du-du-du-du-dum, du-du-du-du-tsh, and it was in
Yeah.
Life as You Know It and Kukaya.
Yeah.
That's the only time
Yeah.
I've ever heard it. Everything else you do seems to be completely you. I like, guys, back me up on this. I don't think I know any other producers who genuinely are as versatile as you when it comes to, like, what genre do you even call it at this point? It's Fka Mash. That's the genre.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly,
I
Glitch,
mean,
like,
glitch god,
it
glitch
is
god.
it
That's what
is
you call
uh it is quite, because also, man, like I get bored over doing the same thing over and over, you know. Like I'd like to know that Because I Love You feels and sounds different from even Life as You Know It, you
yeah,
know. But the cool thing is that I like that they feel like my songs, you
yeah.
know. So just being able to have that connection with my own songs is good enough for me.
So my question is like, so you finished and completed a song like in the crowd, and then, what is your next step for like when you think about releasing? Like, how did you and one people link up for that track? I'm curious to know.
So the options the options was I either drop it on my own label,
Yeah,
or I put it out on one people, and one people were very keen on releasing the song, so that made it a bit easier. It's always easier when a label wants the song and wants to put it out, you know because in the past, man, I had to shop music to labels and they'd be like, nah, this is not for
yeah,
us. And you know, and you end up going, oh, I'll just drop it on my own label, you know I mean, Because I Love You, in fact, September Bloom started mainly because of that, because like I'd be getting so many no's from the labels. I was like, guys, like, i can't I can't make anything else,
yeah.
you know like this is the music that I would like to put out there. So if you guys won't put it out, then I'll do it,
yeah,
you know so rather, it's always better when a label wants the song, then it's easier for me to engage them on that conversation. You know. So luckily in this instance, one people were very keen on dropping the song.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be, and I think like it's such a great song for the label, and yeah, I'm a big fan of the guys who work
Yeah,
behind the scenes there, and
amazing, man,
yeah,
amazing,
solid group of people.
amazing.
Good guys.
Yeah. Speaking of the, I watched the episode where you guys were were choosing your top five. I got beef with the guys that didn't put me on their lineup.
Who's that?
You two guys.
Who did I have again? Who did I have
Well,
again?
you know what's funny about this, right? So
Yeah.
when you played with Julian Gomez, I saw this
Yeah.
lineup and there was a name on there who, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
no shade to the guy, I hadn't heard of him until Manu mentioned him on that
Uh-huh.
pod. Cat Cat was
Oh
there
my
as well.
God.
Look at the response. This says it all, man. Manu was singing Cat
Bro.
Cat's praises, bro. If we were at your event, because Mash, I put you on because I've not seen you play. I've not been at a gig before, and it's like for me, I've got to experience it at some point. But I was thinking if I was there and if Manu was there, we would have gone wild, man. Manu chose Cat
No,
Cat.
we would have been drunk, bro.
Like,
Absolutely.
You know,
we would have.
so
We would have
so
been
Cat
10
Cat
savannas
is
down doing wild stuff. People
We
don't
would have
know.
been drunk.
Cat is the DJ's DJ. So if you love house music, deep house, whatever, right? You are bound to have the one of the best experiences listening to him play, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get introduced to stuff that you don't know. You're gonna get introduced to stuff from even a long time ago that you think probably came out this year or is still gonna come out, you know. So I always say like there's like a group of like 5-6 DJs that I always have my eye on because they're just not afraid to take it there, you know. And Cat is definitely one of those guys. He's like top 5 for me in South
Bro,
Africa.
he's tough, bro. He's tough. Different.
Too tough, bro. Too tough. Like, ah man.
So we need to fly out. Next
Too
time you
much.
guys are both going to line up, Manu, we're getting on a plane.
Oh
Straight.
yeah,
You guys need to come to South
Straight
Africa, man. Have you been to South Africa?
I've not been, no.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
from there originally, so but yeah,
Oh, cool.
been a long time since I've been home. Yeah,
What part?
I'm from Johannesburg. My family's from Durban. Yeah, yeah. But I grew up in Nigeria, bro. So that's why I sound like the way I do.
Been moving. You've been moving, bro. So you moved from South Africa to Nigeria,
Yeah. When I was a kid, bro, I
then
was young.
Canada.
Yeah, UK then Canada.
You're killing
My
me.
gosh, been moving.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But I'm meaning to come home, bro. I gotta come home, especially now, like all the work that I'm doing, like
Yeah,
it has to be done.
you
And
know.
just to enjoy, like musically, like just the
Yeah.
music, that's all I care. Just enjoy it from you know, like you said, you were comparing performing back home versus
Yeah.
abroad. It's like I want to go home and see everyone play like again, but
Mm.
you know, back home because I think it's just gonna be different. You know?
There's you know, you can definitely tell that dance music is like the background music of South Africa when you get here versus everywhere else, you know. So I always tell people this: whenever you come to South Africa, the best time is late November into early January, right? That's our festive
Yeah.
season. That's summer. That's when the hottest song has dropped. That's when, and chances are 9 out of 10 times it's a house song, either Gqom, piano, deep house, whatever. That song is out at that particular time. So you want to do yourself that favor and come to South Africa towards end of November into December. You need to spend your entire December here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to ease into it. Trust me.
I might do that. I might do that this year.
I want to
That sounds
spend a
lovely.
month in SA, man. For real.
That sounds lovely.
You have to ease into it. Otherwise, you might not want to leave. So yeah. So December is the best time to be in South Africa.
I just looked. Where is it? E-Plan came out
Yeah.
September time
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's like September, October, November, building up. Bro, that's on my list of places to go. We've had so many people from SA. We had a group of guys from Kenya come through to the last Indigenous event, and every single one of them is like, "You've got to come to SA. You've got to come to SA. They'll love it." I've always, well, not always, still have this kind of feeling where, for me, there's a very, and we've spoken about it a lot on the podcast. There's a very distinguishing difference between the sort of European Afro House and SA Afro House. So, guys, we have to talk about Cairo's album, which just dropped. He had his big launch party over here, obviously. What are your guys' thoughts on it after listening through it? Have you listened through it all the way? Because it's a long album as well, 19 tracks, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
have. I think what I appreciated about Cairo's album is we saw a side of Cairo that we hadn't seen before, especially on the earlier tracks. It was a lot more soft, more radio, which was exciting for me. And then it was a bit like a set. Started off slow, then built it up into some Afro tech, and then finished off kind of like smoothly again. So as a collection of work, I think he smashed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was decent. Yeah. Go on, AJ. I can go last.
I listened to it from beginning to end. I listened to it on a very long car journey as well, because it is a long album. The first few tracks really, really roped me in. I'm probably going to butcher the name. Hlala. Beautiful, incredible, man. By that point, I was expecting, I don't know why, for some reason in my mind, I was expecting a full-blown Afro tech album from beginning to end, heavy Afro tech. But he actually went on like a really nice, a proper Afro House vibe, which I think was a nice experience. What was it? Nyali with Shimza, great track. And there's one that he did with Kalimia as well, which I loved. So it was a good album, man.
My two favorite were the non-vocal ones, so Son of Mar and Door of No Return. I mean, that's the Afrotech Cairo that I love, though.
Yeah. I think he found a good balance, man. But it is a long album, as I said. He's found a very good balance there. Personally, I think shorter albums are better. You give less.
Oh man, I haven't been able to listen to it actually.
Have you not?
I haven't. It takes time for me to listen to albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Maybe we scrap this then. Let's scrap it.
Cairo makes some long albums, so they need some time.
Yeah.
Long albums.
Yeah. I haven't been able to listen to it, but I think I will give it a listen at some point, because you're gonna need some bangers for the set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cairo, one thing I know about Cairo, he's got some bangers for the set.
Yeah. For sure, man.
Is it true that he produces mainly? I mean, he's always on the road, but he excels at producing on the road. Like
I mean,
he's
I wouldn't.
doing that.
I can believe that, because, yeah, man, he's always on the road. I mean,
He's always on the road.
yeah, he's one of the few people I've bumped into at the airport. Because he's just super traveling,
Just a random encounter.
bro. Like that guy travels. I bumped into Kasango at the airport. I was on the move.
That's
Shimza,
another one. Yeah.
on the move. Cairo. Those are the people that I know for sure are just always moving,
Yeah.
So, at some point, you will have to learn to produce on the road.
I think that it's a real
at some point.
benefit to have everything. Someone was asking me the other day, "Oh, should I buy a Mac or should I buy a really powerful MacBook?" And I said, if you can get a
Yeah,
MacBook that can function your whole DAW and everything in there works fine, absolutely get it, because having that ability to just go onto the road and carry on with your music, I'm so
yeah.
restricted to having to work at home to do anything from doing my radio show to even recording a podcast because everything's set up
Same
to my
same as me.
computer. Yeah.
Yeah, same as me. Like I can't make music on the road. I can only come up with ideas and like record them on a voice note or whatever. But
Yeah.
sorry, I can't make music while traveling. So I have to come back home and be in this
Do you think?
space.
Do you think that's also like I don't know, part of your journey and
Yeah,
where you are in life? Like, if say at one point you're going to be traveling all the time, then naturally, your tendencies are going to open you up to being a on the
yeah,
road producer. You think it's also like has to do with that?
yeah. I think it's that as well. But the one thing that I am gonna do is invest in a really powerful laptop.
Yeah.
You know,
Bro,
either Mac or PC, whatever. But it has to be super powerful.
I've got a question for you. Just because I'm genuinely intrigued by this. I've heard so many conversations with producers of many different levels saying you should use this DAW, you should use this door. Like, are you a Logic, Ableton, FL Studio? Are we
I'm
allowed
FL
to know the
Studio.
secret? FL,
I'm FL Studio all the way, man.
yeah,
Yeah, like that's that's what made me like I'm sitting here right now because of FL. You know, like I discovered it when I was in primary school and just never parted ways.
yeah,
So that's like I'm not even gonna go into deep into that. Like for me, FL is it. You know,
yeah,
like the best grooves I come up with are on FL. I've tried Pro Tools, I've tried Cubase, I've tried Ableton. Nah, there's no like for me. I just feel more in touch with FL.
I'm gonna have to try it, man, because FL's getting a
Well,
big tick every single time. Everyone's saying FL. Even Manu's
yeah,
singing
FL
FL's
is
praises.
fire, bro.
I
Like
mean,
FL used to be very frowned upon. Probably like 5, 10 years ago. And then somehow I think they also worked on their I'm not an IT person, but like I think they worked on the actual architecture of the software, and it has definitely become a bit more punchy now. You know, it's a bit more present. You don't have to work too hard to get that kick to really
Yeah,
hit.
yeah.
So yeah, man, FL, man, shout out to Image Line for sure. I was telling Adam the other day when we were in Bali. I was like, every boy in South Africa is born with a license of an FL Studio license, because you have to make some beats, bro.
You get your FL license before you get your driver's
You have
license.
convert,
to you have to make some beats, my guy.
convert.
You have to make some beats, otherwise, like, what is your life?
No, for real. I feel the same
Yeah.
way.
So for me, FL Studio is it. It just sounds and feels like it feels. That's for me, by the way. I mean, there's people that try to make Amapiano with other software, and it doesn't
Doesn't
hit the
sound the
same.
same. Yeah.
The log drum ain't the same.
The
But
log
do you
drum
So
think
what's
just
do you
is not
think
there.
is it like a workman like knows his tools best, so like other guys will say, nah, because they were born with a license to, you know, Ableton, but you're like been using FL for that long. Do you think it's like that, or it's just you think
I still
like
think that each DAW sounds like itself.
yeah.
So there's certain things that I can do on FL that I probably can't do on Ableton and on Cubase and everything else.
No one's
You know.
even mentioning Logic.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
It's bad
What's
news
there
for
to
me,
mention?
man. That is
What's
bad
there
news
to
for me.
mention? I mean, I know Logic used to be an aspirational thing for us when we were younger, because it meant you had to get the MacBook, and then like you have to
And it was
buy
so
Logic.
expensive. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
expensive. So
so
back
there
in
was
the
like
day.
this aspirational thing to it. So
Yeah.
people would graduate from FL Studio onto Logic.
Right.
And then FL Studio like sorted out whatever little issue that people had with it, and people started using FL Studio on MacBook before it even became official.
I'm buying a license
You know,
right now. I wasn't born
Just
with
like
one, so
that.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, but I would
This
say
is not
FL is
paid promo, by
definitely,
the way. Everyone at home.
but
you have
FL
FOMO.
is definitely probably the easier one to learn, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It's
And
the easier one
then
to learn, but also you kind of do have to know what you're looking for in terms of the result. So if you want your kick to be a bit soft, you need to know exactly what to do to it. So like I guess every platform has its own challenge, but I just love how FL Studio for me has become half workman knows his tools best, and half texture. So the texture of it gives me the sound that I'm currently working with.
gotcha,
It's,
gotcha.
it works best for my sound. Can't do that anywhere else.
How do you see a difference in sound between like Afro House in Europe and Afro House, or whatever genre you would put yourself into? Would be interesting to know as well. But the sound you play
Yeah.
in Europe versus the sound you play back home.
Yes. Yes. I mean, in Europe, in fact, this is the most fascinating thing about house music generally, right? In South Africa, when you play at 118, you are super fast, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and people won't complain, but you will see, right? I could play a set at 118, 119, 120 in South Africa, and someone will come and drop to like 114, 115, and you'll just see
No
the
way.
crowd just wake up. Yeah, we play slow in South Africa. In fact, it's part of the reason why Amapiano is as slow as it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's so interesting with Amapiano because overseas, I mean, especially here, they play it much faster. Like,
Yeah, and
different.
That should
yeah,
be
and
illegal. in
everybody
my
just
opinion.
cringes when they hear that.
Should be so illegal. I heard someone playing an Amapiano track. Witnessed it with my own eyes at an event, and they were playing an Amapiano track at 122. Oh, it was
What is
painful
that,
for me,
bro?
man.
Oh,
Painful.
that's mad.
122
What
BPM.
is that, bro? Man, I've played gigs where I'm playing, I play like my music, whatever, house, deep, whatever. And then after that comes an Amapiano DJ, and it just drops the tempo. And you can just see the crowd bounce to that tempo. And you're like, oh man, like there's no, like you can't take this away from us.
Yeah.
You know?
Slow burner, right? It's just a slow
Oh
burner.
man,
It just
it
catches up
hits.
to you before you
Hits
know
the
it.
soul, bro. And that's the one thing you definitely also need to do for yourselves, guys. Like when you come to South Africa, don't just go to the Afro House events and all that other
Kunye.
stuff. Have to have to experience either Kabza or Kelvin.
Oh yeah.
Kabza's
All those
up there.
guys. Or in fact, you definitely should check them out, but you should go also just listen to a DJ that you don't know play Amapiano.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me on this one, guys.
I
Like,
trust you, bro. Amapiano is the vibe. It really
Trust
for real.
me,
It
man.
really is the vibe,
Like,
man.
that genre is just something else. You know, like for me, as someone who can actually say like I consume it from the outside, and I've participated maybe once or twice, but just experiencing it from the outside is just so beautiful to see. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
it's amazing. It's amazing. Like it's beautiful seeing that like my people were able to do that kind of thing. Like, it makes me super proud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys,
So,
I'm
yeah.
looking at the time on the clock. We've been an hour and a half in to the conversation. I feel like we could keep this going all night if we needed to. We could keep this going
Sure,
all night,
sure.
grab a beer and keep on talking. But we've got to close off at some point. We have to close off. So socials, as always, they'll be dotted around somewhere here. Thank you, everybody, as always, at home for tuning in. Mash, thank you for coming to be part of this today. Really, really means a lot. And I mean, on a personal note, it's been a very insightful episode for me. I'm sure it has for both the guys as well, and for everybody listening at home. Most of you probably
Thank you,
do
guys, man.
already, but drop FKA Mash a follow at real FKA Mash.
Yeah, it's at
Real
real
FKA
FKA
Mash.
Mash on all
At
social
real FKA
platforms.
Mash. Guys, any closing points?
Yeah. Please play my after party if I have one.
When is it?
No, you didn't put him on your lineup originally, bro. If
Well, I was
if
gonna
anyone's
say-
getting dibs, I had FKA Mash on the dream
Yo,
lineup.
man,
So
if the
You guys,
when the
you
time
guys
comes,
missed me.
when the time comes and you do an after party, let me know, man. Let me know.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
I would rather you drop on Club Record than play at my after party, bro.
I agree.
That's also
I mean,
fair.
agreed.
That's also fair. That's also fair. You know.
Oh, but thanks for
Wait,
joining,
you guys
man.
started releasing on Club Record.
Next week.
Next Friday.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
that's gonna be
you
interesting.
gotta send them the promos.
Talk, man. We'll talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
for
definitely
sure.
have to chat that.
Yeah, everyone at home, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, however you decide to listen. Do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. This conversation, as always, extends to you. Let us know your thoughts. Any hot topics that you heard us discuss today, drop a comment. Let us know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for topics in the future, in fact, we'll do this. If you have any suggestions for guests who you would love to see, as we've now got a ball rolling, let us know who you would like to have a chat with next. Yeah, it's been special, man. Thank you so much. And we will talk, I'm sure, after this. And remember to drop us a follow on socials as well at No Guestlist OFC. Peace.